What is up, everybody? It is MrAeroHD back again with another episode of whatever I'm calling this. Build Drift to Kill It. That's the one. I'm an idiot. So today, before anyone asks, this paint is done by SCS Screamies, a good old friend of mine back in the drifting community. If you guys want to go check out his stuff, you know, SCS Screamies. I don't know why I had to sit there and think about it. But question I get a lot is, hey Aero, I haven't had a chance to play Horizon 4 yet. Is it still possible to do low horsepower builds and like missile car style cars? So I went, you know what? What's a good car for this? 240, obviously. People are going to be building this like crazy on YouTube. Look at all the engines you can put in here. BMW engine, K20, SR20. You can put in a V8. You can put in the RB. You can put in the Turbo Rally if you want to. You can put in the, I think this is the V6 from the GTR, which the VR38. Yeah, and a 4-rotor if you're broken in the head or something. But what I'm going to do, I might put the SR20 in it. I might. But what I'm probably going to do is just leave the KA in it and try to get by with like around 250, 300 horsepower and see if we can still have fun. It doesn't need to be competitive. It doesn't need to be amazing. Just want to have fun. That's all we're going for, right? So, we're going to put the... you guys thought I was going to put the Rocket Bunny kit on here. Good joke. I think you're supposed to have the Rocket Bunny kit on with this. It looks like it's all proportionate for the Rocket Bunny kit, but I'm not doing that because I don't want to. So, oh yeah, you're definitely supposed to have the Rocket Bunny kit on here. Oops. Anyway, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna be one of those guys that goes against what the original painter wanted. I'm gonna put on, I don't want to put on the Origin paint. I really don't. Or bumper. I don't like how it's like, seems like it's too high in the air, but it's the only paint that really fits the stripes. Look at how shiny these stripes are. Screamies. I'm gonna start painting Jaguars, my guy. These all look fucked. They're all fucked because they're supposed to. They're meant for. They're 100% meant for the Rocket Bunny kit, but I do not want it on here because it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the car. So we're gonna go charge speed. Shit, any of these are gonna be good. Actually, we'll use the Ings ones. And I think that's it. That's the base car built. So the only thing I've done is put some wheels on here. I don't even know if I'm sold on these wheels, honestly. But it's the Advan Forza. This is before all the stuff comes out. I'm recording this on the 16th. I don't know when this video is going to come out. I've been working on the quality of the videos, guys. I know a lot of you guys didn't notice, but I did. So I switched video editors. I'm using Adobe Premiere now. If you see accidents or like mess ups in the video, that's why. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm learning now. I gotta learn a whole new program to make sure my videos don't look like shit. So we got track width on the front and the rear. So normally what I do when I'm building a car is that I start off with my tire widths. I pick my tire width, and then I kind of just play from there. But what I think I'm gonna do here now is gonna completely, I know we have drift suspension here already. I just want to see how the car looked lowered. Gonna put the car completely on a diet, so 2,500 pounds. And I found that everyone's like, oh, there's so much more grip, but like, I'm not one of those guys that tries to pretend that I know everything about real cars and real drift cars, and I don't. So a lot of stuff I know is from games, and of course Forza is not the most realistic game in the world, but I always thought, you know, like a mid-range car, like if I'm going to go to Ebizu or something, that 255 or something is about the tire that you're going to run, or 275, like that's an average drift tire. No, that's a big fucking tire. I was watching a MrAeroHD video where like most people are running 225s. Huh, this is interesting. I didn't know this. So what I'm going to do is just run a 215 on the back, 205 in the front. I might go up to street tires. I might. I'm going to stay on stock for now and just kind of see how that works. I wanted a 225 in the back, but it doesn't look like that's possible. Also, if you really want to go street legal, you could not do any of these upgrades, but that's kind of not why we're here. I'm still trying to have fun. So I'm going to fully upgrade the engine, not including the cams. We're getting about 263, 269. So we still got the KA in here. I might swap in the SR20 and go for a bigger rear tire, but I don't really want to do that. So let's turbo it. So I'm right about where I want to be in terms of power. So 308. So it's a little bit on the high side for something like this. I know that there's guys running like 200 horsepower or whatever. I'm trying to make this a little bit like still fun. And then do I make the wheels bigger? I have them on 17s. We'll go 18s. Okay. Looks a little bit more hot boy that way. So that's the build done. Might I say, I'm glad I went with these wheels. They look fantastic. And because it's spring, I'm actually going to be able to drive this car somewhere other than, like, I don't know. I don't know what the winter does to your car, but I'm just going to avoid it. I don't know if it does anything really bad. But we're going to go... I'm going to try to do most of my builds at least once at the Horizon Festival, because it's the most, like, generic drift place, and, like, everyone knows how to get there. It's really easy. The line's pretty well self-explanatory. It's a good place to benchmark. So I'm going to leave the tire... I'm going to take down the tire pressure a little bit. I'm going to put it up on the front just to smooth out my inputs. We're going to run a really, really tight gear. Like, ridiculous. Like, yeah. We're going to be working the gear, the gear ratio, but that's fine. Normally I run a bit of positive camber in the back, just because when the car, I'm moving my hand like you guys can see it, the tire sits straight up, so you get the maximum contact patch. Don't really think we need that kind of grip, so I just have a little bit of, negative camber, just like a hair, just a little kiss. And again, before people yell at me, I don't really specialize in these kinds of tunes. I'm just like adapting my mid-range to mid to high horsepower baseline setup to this. We're gonna go a little bit higher in the front, but we don't need to go super high. I still want it to, like, hold angle and be drivable. But my goal for this car is to be able to just, like, whip it as fast as I want to in corners, and then hopefully just beat the living piss out of the clutch, and hope it powers through the corner. If it doesn't, it's fine. We'll just run narrower sections. It's all good in the hood. But I want to see how this car compares to everything else around here. It's not going to be setting crazy high scores. Also, I probably don't need to do this with the brakes, but I'm just used to it. I can't imagine that you'll be tandeming door to door in this at 300 horsepower with some of your friends. I'm gonna do 100 and then 95. Normally I'll lock it with the carless power, which is 100 to 100. It's not technically locking, but I'm gonna have a little bit of slip. So let's see what happens. I have an S14 that I've practiced, but nothing, oh, cool. A stark contrast. Ooh, I was paying way too much attention to him. Idiot. Okay. A ton of grip here. Like, the car's still fun to drive. I wouldn't try to drive this. Like, this might not be everyone's thing. But I like doing it sometimes, especially when I'm driving alone. If I just want a session, just drive. I have a little bit more fun driving these lower horsepower cars. Like, this thing is in B class. So not bad. Feels a little bit low on power, but it's kind of what it's supposed to do. I'm going to take it somewhere more technical after this. Third gear is working, which is awesome. You could have just used the stock gears and probably used second, but I like to just not overcomplicate my life and use the gears that I'm used to having my car in. So this car is going to work the same way as most of my other cars, where I can just use third and fourth, but I'll be going like half the speed. And I'm just going to grip up here, because this is more fun. Let me slow down a little bit this time so I don't run into the fest. There you go. Drag it out wide. Gotta tighten fourth up just a hair. It seems like that's what I gotta do with most of my gears in this game.
You have arrived at your destination.
I'm also gonna soften everything in the front. The front is so planted. It's like off-puttingly planted. Okay. So let's go to cars, tune. And we're gonna bring down that spring rate, and we're gonna bring this down, and we're gonna bring this down, and then what else did I want to do? Right, I wanted to tighten up fourth gear, not a lot to where, like, it's unusable, and I'll leave sixth just so if we're driving around I can still use that gear. Normally I like to make my transmission pretty linear, so if I have a tight fourth gear, my fifth and sixth match. But if we're driving from drift spot to drift spot, for whatever reason you guys aren't fast traveling, it's a real pain in the ass because your car tops out like 140 with the gearing. Or at least that's what it would do for my gears. You guys do whatever you want. I just like to run a third, fourth, kind of like third and a half deal, where my fourth is almost just barely an extension of my third gear. And yeet it. That's better. Bouncing off the limiter there a little bit. Just holding throttle down. So if you're doing these big sections, this car's probably not going to be all that fun here. It's slow. Gotta make that work. We'll make that boy work. And of course, with the toge coming out, you will have... It's not real toge, but it's like a mountain road. A surprising amount of rear grip, too. I was afraid that the rear end of the car would be really unstable. But it seems like 300 horsepower and a 215 on stock. I'm really glad I didn't go to streets. Holy moly. That would have been really dumb. Maybe like 400 horsepower, that would have been a little bit better, but right now it seems like this is the perfect combo. Maybe a little, like, I would run a little bit more horsepower. It just feels like a little bit, like right here, on the, especially on the banking, it just feels down. Like, I can drift it, but I can't throw the angle that I want to throw. Because I know the car is just going to stall out. This back half, though, it's way more fun. That part's really high speed. This part is a little bit less, so where I can just rely on the technicality of the section. There is water, but like it doesn't really make that much of a difference, I found. It does affect the car a little bit, but not by much. And then right there, you can just barely get it to transition. Again, still full throttle. There's a lot of full throttle driving, which is fun. I like it. It's a little bit, you can turn your brain off a little bit and just yeet the thing. But safe to say this is not where this car belongs. So I'm going to try to find a section where this thing's a little bit more happy. All right, chums, I went to the rail yard. This is a section my friend Beige showed me. My friend, he's a subscriber over on Twitch. You guys don't follow me on Twitch. You really should, man. You really should. Please support me on the Twitch. Even if you don't like live streams, go follow me anyway. I'm kidding. Please come hang out. It's fun. So this is in the rail yard. This is in the southwest corner of the rail yard. This is immediately, when I built this car, I immediately thought of something low horsepower. I remember taking something low horsepower here before. Also, Beige, forgive me if I don't get this section completely right. This is the only shitty part, is running that outside zone. Also clearing all the fucking debris. God damn. Then bring it around this way. And then it's a big yeet into this corner. You're supposed to, like, I usually try to see if I can drop 2 tires on that ramp. It's pretty simple. It's only like 2 or 3 corners, but think of it almost like a school circuit, but it's really complicated in terms of you got to avoid that inner part. Basically 2 wall zones. I don't remember. Yeah, it's definitely this way. I'm gonna try running it that way though, just for fun. It's doable though. It's not struggling to make the corners at all. I figured it might, like, this part might be a little bit difficult. Maybe it's because it's wet out, but it almost feels like the perfect amount of horsepower. Keep in mind, this car is fully built regardless, like with the exception of the engine. I'm running low horsepower, but it's still like full cage and everything that it needs. So it's still a kind of hashtag race car. If I ever say hashtag in a video again, please shoot me. Please just put a gun in my mouth. But it's very drivable. Again, this section is a bit simple, but I wanted to come somewhere that was a little bit less stressing about all the corners and technicality. And it's also a really fun tandem section, except for there. There's the only place that sucks. I'll try going left this time. I generally, no. This is definitely the wrong way. It's also a fun place to go where if you have a big lobby, because it's very Matsuri-y. It's just a simple track. It's easy to drop in and drop out. You just drive in through here. You can even park up on like the containers and watch people drive. It's fun. It's very fun. And I like anything with wall taps. Airport or the airdrome sections kind of really, like, I was like, I love these. And then the game came out and I drove them with some friends and some of you guys for a bit. And I was like, huh, this isn't as fun as I thought it would be. Because like you can't really, you're doing just circles and there's a limit to how fast you can go. It's very low speed and technical, but it kind of sucks. They're not terrible sections. I just thought like that was going to be the drift spot and it's just like, nah, not even close. But I like this part where you kind of have to come out shallow and then big flick in. This is a fun car, dude. This is definitely not competent. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was really hard to wheel this thing around the Horizon Festival. I just wanted somewhere that was a good place to test baseline, you know? And then I'm like, ooh, where do we go next? I think that's how we're gonna format these videos from now on. Kind of learning as we go. I'm an experienced YouTuber. I've been doing this for years. I know what I'm doing. And just a little wiggle, no big deal. And then big send. Oh, come on, car. We can do that better. 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 I'm obsessed. See, I told you, like, it's simple, as in, like, oh, it's only like 3 corners. Who cares? It's still fun though. It's a lot of bumper tapping. We dragged against the wall there. That was sick. Back around. And before someone tells me, oh, it wasn't this guy. I found this section first. I don't know, man. I just told you who showed it to me. Yeah, boy. Get you some. Perfect. This is fun. I think we're almost settled. I want to go one more place that is a little bit more technical. This is a fun little track. I actually haven't driven this since the one open lobby that we did. Though people who follow me on Twitch will know the one I'm talking about. That is the thing we do. Every Tuesday, open lobbies, and every third Tuesday, we do a tournament. So, Forza 7 tournament. So if you guys don't even want to watch me for me, my entertaining self, you just want to do open lobbies in tandem with people, there you go. Oh man, there's like 2 good entry spots. 2 big corners. Right here is just like, you're just basically getting to the 2 right-hand corners. This is still fun though. Oh! Come on. It reminds me of Bihoku a little bit. If you guys don't know Bihoku, there's that, like, you kind of have to get close to a... Oh, I didn't even think about hitting that wall. You kind of have to get close to, like, a dirt mound. I know I've driven it in Assetto, and I've driven it in D1GP, like an old PS2 game. You got to get really close to this dirt mound, and if you go a little bit too far, you can either, like, lift the rear end of the car up or, like, flip. This reminds me of Bihoku, where you just kind of got to touch it, but you can get away with lifting your 2 tires up. It's fun, my dudes. This is actually perfect for this car. This car has just enough horsepower. And they feel really competent and really grippy. It's just like a well-balanced build. I think if this car had like 600 horsepower, it'd feel terrible. But at this point right now, it feels confident and collected. So far, the people who said, oh, you can't have fun with low horsepower in Horizon, you fucking what? All right, now I know what you're thinking. Aero, all we drove in Horizon 3 was the parking lot. So why are you at another parking lot? Because it's... reminds me of, like, again, like an old Japanese, like, Matsuri track. It doesn't loop, which sucks. Also, say Matsuri track. It sounds like I'm unintelligent. I was going to say Bihoku again, but I realized that the layout actually doesn't remind me of Bihoku at all. It's just the fact that it's all, like, kind of green, and it's, like, dirt. But we're up here in the Mortimer Gardens. I kind of do different layouts every time, but, like, this is the one that I started doing when before the game came out, when I had the press code. Do that here. Go down to second. You can really see what kind of angle this thing pulls at low speeds. And then this is the shitty part, because you got to stretch this corner to this corner. It's not that hard. Honestly, I've had more difficulty doing it in higher horsepower, or the same amount of difficulty doing it in higher horsepower. It's fun though. It's super fun. My front end might be a little high. I'm gonna try bringing it down a click. 1 click, just a single click. Just 1 click. Where you at? Right height. Boom, 6.6. So it's 0.2. I usually run it way higher, but you don't really need the really high front right height with this. You can't send it as much as I want. I can't send it as much as I want to. Just kind of have to sacrifice some angle and stay on the throttle. It's 100% drivable. I was really scared that this car was going to suck, because I was already coming into this knowing that you can have fun with lower horsepower cars. I have like a 400 horsepower and 350 horsepower S14 that I have oodles of fun in. I'm going to do this one more time, and I want to do like a big send entry. Yeah, this is really grassroots, and this is what this reminds me of. Also, this livery, I don't know if it's super grassrootsy. I don't know if it's a replica or something that Screamy's made. He's just a really talented painter. If you guys don't follow him on Horizon, you really should. I go as big into this corner as I can. Ooh, rain. I actually don't hate the rain in this game. In Horizon 3, like, basically, it really affected it. In this game, I feel like it affects it a little bit. Okay, let's ignore the fact that I completely missed my line. We nailed it. I went a little wide, but let's just ignore that. This is what I mean by like the little circle areas in the aerodrome are a little bit less fun. Now I'm just making shit up. But there's like a point under 30 miles an hour where you can just lay on the throttle, and at least my setups or the cars that I drive, They just hook, and they don't kind of pick up speed. They just sit there in tight radius corners. That's fun. I'm doing that one more time. This is a fun-ass car, my dudes. Not something I'd run in an open lobby, because you're going to get run over by those dum-dums that are running like 800 horsepower. I am one of those dum-dums before someone gets really pissed off. But if it's just you and a buddy, and you're like, hey, do you want to go do missiles? And they're like, yeah! Alright, not backies, but my line was right that time, so I mean, you can't win them all. And can we complete the course? Like, these little areas just feel slow. Like, look at my speed. My speed's not moving. I think that's just part of the game. As long as you're ready to accept that, it's not terrible. This feels like a good learning area. Like, if you want to learn how to drift without having to just do circles. Also, no one really comes here, so you're not going to have guys in Ken Block unicorns being a distraction. But to answer the question, is low horsepower still fun in Horizon 4? Yes. It's actually, if anything, made me kind of reevaluate how I tune cars and what I think is necessary. And I can't speak for everybody, but if I'm, you know, awake late at night and I want to do some drifting and there's none of my friends are online, I'm probably going to jump in this. Or another, like an S13 or something. Anything that's kind of low horsepower, looks nice. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Follow me on Twitter and all the Twitch and all that good stuff if you don't. Leave me suggestions for videos in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one sometime next week. Peace.